So as for my mother, Friday was so stressful because not only was I dealing with the stuff with Kaylee, um, we had two new aides, and it was horrible, Holly. Like, if we didn't have a camera, we wouldn't have known. It strictly says in her care plan she must sit up in her wheelchair to eat because my mom can't remember to swallow. So this lady took it upon herself to put my mom in the recliner to feed her. They tried to say they propped pillows behind her, but I'm like, we didn't tell them. We made a recording and took pictures, and it was horrible. There was nothing behind her, and then they only took her to the bathroom once. She's supposed to go to the bathroom every 2 to 3 hours, and they're supposed to pivot her and move her into her chair to take a nap. Well, the first aide never did that, and she wrote she's very hard to transfer in her notes, so she didn't even try. She didn't move my mom all day out of her wheelchair. My brother had her in the wheelchair. So I'm just trying to think, because when I call, and then my mom had a doctor come out. The girl never answered the door, didn't let the guy in, so the appointment got missed. And then my mom, we called over and over again, and our last name's McGall. And she finally answers, and I said, hey, why didn't you answer? She said, I didn't know if we could answer phones or not. First off, that's not a company policy. You can't answer the phone. And secondly, if you see the word McGall, you should know that that's a family member trying to reach you. So she was like, made an excuse. I said, the doctor was there, and like, why didn't you let him in? And she's like, well, your brother left around that time. Why didn't he say something? And I'm like, really? It's showing you just got on, and then you sent some emojis. So then the second aide must have came in at 4. Meanwhile, I'm dealing with like taking Kaylee to her testing to get her urine and blood checked. And then I come back home because it snowed and I didn't know it was going to snow. And then she passed out for 8 hours. So I had to sit with her because I gave her too much of 2 meds that were similar, and I didn't know that. So it knocked her the hell out. So they were like, you have to keep an eye on her breathing. So I couldn't leave to go to my mom's house. So when the next aide came in, I called and I'm like, how are you? And this girl's freaking out. Oh my gosh, she's not bedbound? I thought I wouldn't have to move her. I don't have a lot of upper body strength. What? I should show you. Maybe what I'll do is I'll send it to you through the messenger. Not messenger, but what is that? I guess it's consider messages in the, Apple products. I'll have to send you what we wrote because they kept making up excuses saying that they thought that the aide thought it was okay to like prop my mom up with pillows. And I wrote back like, this is in the care plan and you need to strictly follow it because if something happens to her, you're liable. Like if you didn't follow the strict plan. So it was just so much unnecessary stress. And my sister ended up coming home early and said to the aide, go home. And the aide would not, which I have to find out Monday, would not clock out. My sister's like, you can go because of the weather. Because my sister's a wuss and wouldn't just say, hey, no, we didn't care about the care you gave her. Because we're allowed to just walk in at any time and say, no, thank you, I don't like you, really. But my sister hates confrontation. So she said the woman did not want to leave and she didn't ever see her clock out. So I don't even know if she got paid all night, but they better not say that they did. Because that's another thing. So it's just been really stressful because they're sending all these different aides that don't know my mother, and then they're not giving the correct care plan. So it's almost like being in a nursing home, but in your own home. It's sad. It's really sad. So me and my girlfriend were just saying about Marco Polo that it should be able to be completely live on both ends because like you just smiled and I don't know what part that is. And my girlfriend's like, imagine if somebody starts hitting the smile emoji and you're telling something really sad. And I'm like, yeah. So I think they should make a Marco Polo update where if you both want to go live at the same time, it's almost like, like a FaceTime. You're here and they're there. So yeah, but I mean that's basically everything we have. My girlfriend working as much as possible. They won't let people work overtime or they try to avoid it, and it's like you should just give the people the overtime. They know my mom the best. So just the transition of I finally go back to work Monday. This will be my true first day. Like it doesn't matter what happens. Like I have to go Monday. And I got to worry about my mom not having good care because they just keep sending different aides in. So she's still hanging in there, but she's definitely struggling more to eat and swallow. And you got to remind her what swallowing even is. So it's a lot. So, I mean, my dad had trouble too, but he always managed to get all his food down, whereas my mom just is really, really starting to struggle a lot. So like, my sister even said to the agency, like, what's the point in having people there if they can't even do the job? And, she had to watch them on the camera all day, which took away from her job. So, it just sucks when you watch. I mean, I feel like that's abuse in a sense when you think about it, but who knows? We said our piece to the agency, and like I wrote everything down so I can report them. And I was told if I don't like the care to report them to the insurance company because that's who they're getting payments from. So that'll be the next step.